Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Bigger Room. I'm your host, Mel Cobian.
And I'm Jill Bender, and today we are going to talk to you about the 8 addictions that are ruining your life.
Oof. Are you guilty of any of them?
I know I have been guilty of probably every one of them at some point, and some I still am guilty of.
Well, let's talk about it and give each other feedback. What's the first one, Jill?
First one is complaining.
Complaining. Do you complain?
I actually don't know. I don't feel like I complain, but I guarantee I am guilty of it at some points of some aspects of my life, I guess. Because I've
Yeah.
heard somebody say that to me a couple times, like, quit complaining. I'm like, what? No, I don't even feel like I'm complaining about anything.
So maybe, yeah, we
But
talk a little
yeah,
bit about that. Like, what is complaining? Is it maybe being ungrateful?
I think so. I think that's
Yeah.
really actually it is what it is. You're not being very appreciative for whatever situation you're in.
So it's,
Are you
I
guilty
guess,
of
like
it?
this.
No?
I think I can be. I mean, I'm human. I think we all probably do complain, and taking a moment to maybe just address if you feel like you are complaining, or I guess you'll
Mm-hmm.
know if you can take the time to try to turn it around by saying why you are grateful for the situation, then that's maybe how you know you're actually complaining.
Yeah, and you don't have to say it out loud. Just kind of,
No.
if you notice, or if somebody's like, why are you complaining? Then just maybe think about it in your head. Like, am I really not
Yeah.
appreciating the situation? Because that's probably not what you mean to do.
Yeah.
It's how we learn to talk when we're growing up. And all right,
Exactly.
the second one is comparison. This is a big one. We deal with this one a lot in the online
Yeah.
space.
Every single day. Yeah. I think that it's again being human, right? You compare yourself. It's natural to compare yourself. When you are on social media, you are consuming content and you're watching people
Mm-hmm.
and you're seeing what they have, what they're wearing, their results, and then maybe you start comparing yourself to, well, I'm doing this too, why don't I have this, why don't I have that? And I know that because of what we have been able to accomplish, we want to accomplish more things. It's very easy to also fall back into that, right, Jill, to want to compare yourself again. But we're pretty good now at having that feedback of, again, just being grateful for what we have and focusing on our focus.
Yep. And I think now that we've been established in the online space and we learn to not compare, even though
Mm-hmm.
it's easy for us to fall back in, especially for you and I right now, we have started so many new adventures this year in our online
Mm-hmm.
space. And it is so easy to say, oh, well, they're already ahead of me and you feel like you're trying to catch up, but I promise you that it's not going to get you anywhere. It's only going to make you crazy. It's going to make your head start getting a little clouded. You're not going to make very good judgments, and it's going to set you back further. So, what I wanted to say is now that we're pretty established, I think you and I are probably good at recognizing that we're doing it and we can make a correction right away. Whereas
Right away.
a lot of people don't even know the damage that it's causing to them by doing it. So, yeah, recognizing that you're comparing does not do you any good. It's good to be inspired by others, but that's different than
Yes.
comparing.
Yes. And that leads people to number three, right? Because they are constantly comparing themselves to other people. They don't take action. So they what, Jill? They procrastinate.
They procrastinate. That is the kiss of death. It really is. You just keep procrastinating, you are not going to get anywhere.
And
You have to.
honestly, it creates anxiety because it's like you have this to-do list of things you need to do, and then you put it off, and every time you put it off, you are increasing your anxiety, and this to-do list just gets so long. So what
Oof.
I do is I write 24-hour to-do lists. Like, I will get this done in 24 hours. And that helps me. What about you, Jill? Are you guilty of procrastinating sometimes?
Oh, sometimes I am guilty a lot.
Lots of
I'm not as diligent to write 24-hour, to-do list, but
sticky
I
notes.
do try and have at least 3 things on my list for the next day. Even if I wrote them that morning, but usually I try and write them the day before. And I want it to be attainable, because if I have this big long list and I don't knock anything off, then you're right, it creates anxiety. It makes me think I'm not getting anything done. So I just put 3 things, my 3 main things that I think I can achieve for that day, that I definitely think I can knock off the list. So it makes me feel good, because when you're crossing things off your list, you do feel good. And it could be anything. It could be anything small, like take the garbage out. It's Wednesday. My garbage just went by, so I thought of that one. But it could be anything, and it helps you build that little bit of confidence too. Like, ooh, I crossed something off my list. What's next? Like, let me just keep knocking these off. It makes you feel really, really motivated, I think, to do the next thing.
Yeah. So there's also these apps that you guys can use, like Google Tasks, where you have a task and you physically check it off and then it disappears. But make sure you actually are checking them off.
Is that what you use then? Because I use pen and paper.
Well, I use pen and paper, but when I run out of sticky notes, and for those of you like that are watching this on YouTube, like check out these sticky notes right here.
Yep, I got
those are done.
as well.
Yeah, so when I physically write something down, it's like I remember it better. Whereas when I'm like, typing it out on my phone, it doesn't necessarily stick. But when I use both.
Yeah, the thing with the pen and paper is that it's so convenient. Like, I can just pick that up really quick and write it down as I'm walking through the hall or into the kitchen, and it'll be right there. I can move it around, stick it on a mirror.
Yeah.
And I prefer it. But yeah, if I have to open my phone, most likely I'm going to see an alert. I want to end up in Instagram. I'm going to be replying to somebody's message in WhatsApp. Like, I am not even going to go into my phone for whatever I was going to go into my phone. Which leads us into number 4.
Yeah. What's number 4, Jill?
Number 4 is your mobile phone. Your mobile phone, this one I am 100% guilty of. This is a very hard habit to break, but this one is killing you. Like, you really should put your phone down 1 hour at least before you go to bed. Set that phone down, even if that means don't have it next to your bed. Set it down and give yourself time before you go to bed, and don't pick it up for an hour after you wake up in the morning. It will change your life if you can create that habit.
I think that's
gives you anxiety. Create about it.
Anxiety. No, not me, but I think that's giving our listeners a ton of anxiety. I actually drive my wife nuts when it comes to bedtime routine. So she's not here, so I haven't been the best at my nighttime routine. Plus the hour just changed, so I need to get back into establishing that. But I don't know if you saw when we were in Dubai, my phone turns red at a certain time.
No.
I don't know if you saw that, no? But so I have a setting on my phone where the screen will automatically turn red an hour before bed. And I do that because yeah. So I do that because when it turns red, it is not entertaining. You cannot physically sit there and scroll on social media because it's not appealing. So think about that.
Yeah, it sounds awful.
All these, it's just red. It's just a red screen. It's good for your eyes, right? Because it basically takes away all the blue light. So it just has this red light, which is more sensitive on the eyes, which is why it's like, if you're going to be on your phone, have the red light filter on. But you can't. It's impossible. It's just not appealing to the brain to be scrolling because the colors aren't there. So that lets you know that we are addicted to our phones. We are addicted to the scrolling, the 7-second bursts of attention, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And for me, because I'm a single mom, so I work when my son is either at school or he's in bed, and I will work Yeah, I work off my phone for the most part. And so I am definitely addicted to picking it up, but I think I am going to put more effort into it. And in the morning, I really like to, I like to pick it up just to see what's going on. But also I do have a VA and she is in the Philippines. So our time is very different. That's the other thing, Mel, is that we work with a lot of people that are in different countries and different
time zones.
So
yeah,
it's
you have to kind of respond to them
for us
as soon as you get up. Yeah, but taking at least the time in the morning to wake up, right? Think about your day, make sure you're feeling good, make sure you're holding on to that gratitude, and having at least a few minutes in the morning to just be yourself, as opposed to waking up, reaching over for your phone, and then being reactive. So I think that's part of the morning routine, is with the phone specifically, is like you can either have a proactive morning by, again, taking care of yourself, being grateful, just taking a few minutes to be in those feelings, or you can be reactive by waking up, grabbing your phone, and reacting to whatever messages you see, or being on social media, reading the news. Very reactive way to start your day, which can throw off the rest of your day.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, something that's going to like make you anxious right away, or piss you off, or whatever. No, I
don't read the news.
Super good practice, especially in general.
in general, like should not be consuming that first thing in the morning.
Oh my God, no. I mean, we've been part of chats also where I'm like, nope, I'm not going in that chat in the morning. It's going to put me in the wrong mindset. It's going to screw up my whole day. I'm just going to avoid that. So I think in general that an hour before or after is really, really good practice to get into the habit of.
Yeah. So that might be a little bit challenging. That might be a little bit challenging for some of you, but try it out and let us know how that goes. So because it's challenging.
Even if it's dark, do it for a week. Let's challenge our listeners right now. See if you could do it for 1 week. And if that's too much for you, then do it one at a time. So if getting up in the morning is that hour that you can avoid, then just do that. Start with it. Yeah. Start small if you have to. And because I love listening to, like, that's when I do most of my mindset listening, is I'll throw it on my phone before I go to bed, and it really just gets me tired, and then I could just sleep so much better. So that hour before bed will kill me, Mel. So wait, am I up for this challenge, or just going to challenge the audience?
No,
me.
No, you too, because you could be reading, and again, that leads us to our next thing, Jill. People are addicted to their comfort zone.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Comfort so doing this challenge is good.
Yeah. Stepping out of your comfort zone. Yeah, the comfort zone is where dreams go to die.
Yep.
You can sit in the sidelines and hope for better things in your life, but if you're not willing to step out of that comfort zone in any aspect, like dropping your phone for an hour, then
something so simple,
not gonna get anywhere.
Something that we didn't even grow up with.
Yeah, I definitely not grow up with it.
No, me either. Yeah. So it's comfort zone is, you don't grow. There needs to be a stimulus that challenges you so that you can grow. So when people say they don't have the time, like, I just don't have the time. Well, you have the time to watch Netflix. You have the time to read a book. And you and I both know that there's a lot of secrets in books, and that's why they are only in books, because it requires you to actually have the discipline to sit down, get out of your comfort zone, put your phone away, and challenge yourself to actually read.
Yeah. I was on vacation a couple weeks ago in the Bahamas with a large group of people, and there were 3 or 4 of the girls went and sat over on the one side of the pool, and they were just plowing through novels, and it was like romance novels or something that they were reading, or maybe they're friends. Yeah. Who cares? It doesn't matter. And I was on the other side of the pool chit-chatting with some other ladies and some of the guys, and I was like, it would be really fun to sit over there and read, but I also get distracted if people are talking and I'm trying to read. I can't block it out. So I knew that would be a lost cause. But yeah,
Yeah.
I do love reading books, and yeah, maybe I will pick up a book at night. All right, guys, 1 week. I'm up more for the challenge of the hour before I go to bed. I need a
Okay.
baby step on this one.
I'm gonna ask you
All right.
about it next week, Joe.
Okay, all right. Starting
Uh,
tonight, I will. I better put a sticky note somewhere so I remember. Text me
Getting out of
tonight
your
before I go
comfort
to
zone.
bed.
Yeah, I gotta get out
Message
of my
me tonight,
comfort
though.
zone too. Yeah, I will. I gotta think of a challenge for myself to get out of my comfort zone. And maybe for me, that's just hanging out with people, which I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
done
like you
very
need to
much.
step away from the desk.
I need to step away from the desk. That's gonna be my challenge for the week.
All right. We've all got challenges. Audience, what are you gonna do? You gonna put your phone down? Come on, do it with me. See how it changes your life, and then send us a message. Tell us we're on Instagram, The Bigger Room. Just find us on Instagram, leave us a little message. Tell us that you're doing the challenge. Tell us that you did the challenge. Tell us your results. We would love to hear about it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We are on number 6. Number 6 of the 8 addictions ruining your life. It is multitasking.
I am not good at multitasking. My wife tells me all the time, if I have a thought in my head that I haven't completed and she's trying to tell me about her day, I can sit there and look her dead in the eye. And then she's just like, you have no idea what I just said. And I'm like, yeah, I heard you. And she's like, okay, tell me what I just said. I'm like, I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah, but what about like working on things? Do you
Same thing.
a lot and touch? Yeah.
No, I cannot. I'm when I focus on something, if I have a thought, for example, that I need to complete, I am stuck in that thought. And if somebody's talking to me, I just cannot physically process what they're saying. And when I'm working, it's the same thing. If I'm doing a task, I have to finish it because if I have, even though sometimes I do have like 30 tabs open, every single one is a specific task, and I'll only close it if I'm like done with that task. But I am just not good at multitasking because it just doesn't work.
When I was working at I was working for, I was working at Snap-on. And at Snap-on, it was in customer service. We were taking phone call after phone call. And I was very good at it, but it was pretty boring. I knew exactly what the person wanted. I knew like all the stuff. So I would sit with an open tab on my computer and I'd be looking at Pinterest because I was getting very popular at the time. I would be looking at Facebook had just come out, I think. I think Facebook was like new and they were still allowing us to go on it until they knew better.
Nice.
I was doing everything while I was on the phone helping the customer, and I was still helping him, or I think I was, but I guarantee my quality probably wasn't. I was still better than almost everybody in that whole freaking department, but I could have been even better if I would have just focused. And I used to pride myself on it, though. I thought it was good. I thought I was like, oh, I can multitask. I could do everything. And I remember one of my bosses at one point saying, can't you multitask? Like in my early days, like, yeah, I need to multitask. So I thought it was a benefit. And now that I'm like doing my own business, I have so quickly realized you need to focus on your focus. Half focus leads to half results. And
Yes.
now I have to remind myself all the time, like, just stop bouncing around the computer, focus on that one thing and get it done. Oh my God. Talk about anxiety. When you're multitasking, you are never feeling like you completed anything.
Yeah. It just feels like you're never completing a task.
Yeah.
I do want to mention, Jill, that multitasking can also be a good thing. For example, when I go for walks, I also listen to the Mindset Mentor podcast. So I'm able to get my motivation and mindset ready for the day. And at the same time, I'm outside getting my steps in. So think about things that can work together, that you can multitask together.
Yeah, things that make sense to multitask. Yeah, so maybe that's your challenge this week, guys.
Don't multitask.
Stop multitasking.
pick a task
Focus.
from your pick a task from your to-do list. Stop procrastinating, right? We can pretty much challenge everything together.
Every single one.
Every single one. Like, and it's just that one thing. So focus on one thing, get it done, and don't quit. Which, Jill, number 7.
Number 7.
People are addicted to quitting, give up too early. Failure is the biggest fear that I feel people have, especially in the online space or starting a business specifically. It is the fear of failure, so it's just easier to quit. When's the last time, guys, that you completed a task or a challenge? Like you said, I'm going to do this 21-day challenge, or especially like right now it's spring, all these 30-day fitness challenges are coming out. When is the last time you signed up for a challenge and you actually completed it?
Yeah, the easiest way to guarantee failure is to quit.
100%. Yeah.
So one of the things that they say you could do is when you commit to something, hand a friend $100 bill. And if you fail your challenge of whatever it is, whatever you said you're committed to, if you fail, they get to keep that $100.
That's because when you
motivate you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, because when you pay attention. Right, Joe? So imagine.
And if yeah, go ahead. If $100 isn't a lot to you and you're like, oh, well, yeah, they can keep it, then give them more money. maybe is $1,000 for you. Maybe you need $1,000 handed to a friend. You want that money back. Are you going to pay attention now? Are you going to make sure you stick to your commitment?
Yeah, there has to be some sort of risk that you have to take. And that's what happens in a lot of decisions that we make in business. We take a lot of risk, but because we take that risk, we're over here taking action every single day because we took a risk. So think of a risk, right? If $100 isn't a big risk, then maybe you need to do $200, $300, $500 if you have a goal. If your goal is to, again, stick to like a fitness challenge, for example, pay a friend, partner, whoever to hold you accountable by putting a risk in their hand. And if you don't complete it, you lose the payment.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Do it, guys. Yeah.
Do it.
All right. And the last one is waiting for the perfect time to start. Is there ever a perfect time to start, Mel?
Nope. The perfect time does not exist. The only time that exists is physically in front of you. The past is the past. The future's not here. Literally right now, the actual physical being of us right now, that is all we have. That is it.
Right. And you do not need everything perfect before you get started. Like, your stuff is whatever you're doing. So for us, we teach people how to get in front of camera, how to create, content for social media. Your content in the beginning, we tell them all the time, it's going to suck. You're not going to be good. It's going to be cringy. You're going to watch it months from now and go, oh my God, I can't believe I posted that. How embarrassing. But we all start there and we all have to get past that part. You don't get to just start, in the future of when you got good. You start now and you learn from it and you learn from those mistakes and you grow from it and you perfect things as you go. So do not wait for the perfect time because the perfect time is right now. That's the 8 addictions that are ruining your life. Which one means the most to you guys? Let us know. Reach out to us on the Bigger Room Instagram page. Thank you so much for joining us. See you in the next one.